This is one of the times that I received a vision as if I was in the cinema, sitting front row at the lot. No popcorn though, didn't get that blessing. I learned how to trust myself even more, realize how gifted I was, realize how much my guides have my back, and like I say in the story later, they don't play about me, especially when someone is doing something behind my back. I will always see the truth, especially when I'm not looking for it. My intention with this video is for you to know, knowing the truth is the greatest gift you can have, no matter how painful it is in the moment, because to accept the pain in that moment saves you from more moments of pain, because it's still happening. So you might as well know what's happening than be oblivious to it and carry this feeling of disconnect from your soul. Oh, this reaffirms a lot of things for you, or reassures you in knowing that the greatest gift you can give is trusting in yourself. When something is just so wild, it's definitely true. So welcome to my story time. Let's get ready together. This all takes place around March. At this point, I'm about 6 months out from one of the worst breakups of my life. A breakup that just, you know, the soul crushing ones. During that relationship though, I did start working at Joe's Crab Shack and I met one of my best friends ever. We'll call her A, not associated with Pretty Little Liars. After I stopped working at Joe's Crab Shack, her and I kind of fell off a little bit. I started working at a hair salon. At some point we reconnected, and when we reconnected, she invited me to a party with her friends. She went to a different high school than I did, but we still both grew up in San Diego. I go to this house party by myself, meet up with her. This is where I meet this guy. We'll call him Basketball. Hot. It was like one of those things where when you lock eyes, you know, you just feel like you know someone. I definitely knew him, especially for the ride we went on together. Short-lived dynamic, but it felt like an eternity. He ended up being someone who threw parties every single weekend, so I kept hanging out around the friend group. I don't even remember how it happened. Him and I just get really close and we end up hanging out more and more and more and more and more. I became friends with all of their friends. They're incredible people. Like, they're great people. I loved the girls, I loved the guys. They were just a genuine, really good group of people. Turns out though, I find out the more that him and I are getting connected, that he just went through a breakup too. But his happened in March. Mine happened in August. It became very evident he wasn't looking for a relationship. I was fine with it. I just wanted to have a good time. I wanted to have a hot girl summer. I just wanted to have a vibe. Him and I are seeing each other April, May, June. 4th of July comes around. It's a time. It's right around this. Him and I had went to Better Buzz, which I remember the barista asked if we were siblings or something, and he said, no, that's my girlfriend. What? So in my mind, I'm like, honey, I'm home. It's always right after that some it happens. The next weekend, I could just feel the energy shift. Sends me a text. He's like, hey, change of plans tonight. I'm not having people over. It's just gonna be a boys' night. Now, if that were true, I would have believed it. I was just like, okay, have fun. Like, whatever, I'm fine. I'm hanging out in my room that night. Important fact, I knew I was psychic. I didn't know that I could do this, essentially is what I'm getting at. I'm sitting on my bed, watching TV, doing whatever. All of a sudden, without even trying, I see an image, okay? A whole scene play out. I am astral traveling on accident, because again, my guides don't play. Even when I wish they would, they're strict. They're like, you're gonna see these people for who they are and act accordingly. Even if I try to ignore the red flags, it's giving this sign can't stop me because I can't read. They're like, we're gonna make you read, okay? You're either gonna make your own choice or we're gonna make it for you. And at this point, they made it for me multiple times. Anyway, see an image. It's him, 3-4 boys in the backyard, 2 girls. Oh, sitting at the outside bar, right where the fire pit is. He's on the other side of the bar. I see him look at one of the girls, walk around, tap her on the shoulder. They walk to his room. I see nothing after that. Hello? I immediately start panicking, right? I end up reaching out to one of the boys who I was super close with, loved him. Like, him and I would also hang out with A. I hadn't mentioned him at all at any point in the story so far. I reach out to him and I'm like, hey, I just had a vision of 2 girls being there, describe them to a T. He didn't get back to me for a minute. The next morning, he texts me, he's like, yo, please do not tell Basketball. You're right. I don't know how the you knew that, but you're right. So got my information. I end up calling A. Her and I end up hanging out. At all this same time, her boyfriend is going over to Basketball's house because they're all having boys' day. I end up texting Basketball. I tell him the vision. I was like, yo, I had a vision. Did that happen? He's coming for me. On my end, no, I told you it was boys' night. See, this is why I don't want to be with anyone. If I had not had his friend's confirmation that it was not only true, but so accurate, he was freaked out, I would have gone inward and been like, I'm so sorry. I cannot believe I'm accusing you. And this is what we do when we're being manipulated, okay? Because someone does something for their own interest, not meaning to hurt your feelings, also not wanting to fumble you fully. So they'll deny. And when you go to the person who's deceiving you, or you feel like they're deceiving you or doing something weird, they're 9 times out of 10 not going to be the ones to tell you the truth when they're called out, even if you have evidence. It gets better. Also, hold on. At this same moment, A starts getting texts from her boyfriend, yo, basketball is tripping out. He didn't even know that I was going to text him. He also didn't know that I had this vision. He's going to everyone. Who told her? You had to have told her. There's no way she had this vision. You had to have told her. Who the f told her? A and I start cackling. Oh, and he's blaming the guys. Hello? No. I'm pretty sure his friend who told me, he ended up telling him everything that happened. The jig was up. At that point, I was like, you know, this is a little bit too messy. This hurts too bad. Trust your gut, ladies and boys. Anyone listening to this, trust your gut. Anytime you feel there's something weird, listen to it. Give yourself the grace and have the self-esteem to take action, knowing like what you need to do when you get a certain emotion, or do not even act or respond until you feel confident or compelled enough to set yourself free from the situation. There's been times where I felt things that are weird, like this one time. That's actually a whole story time, which I can get into that too. All I'm saying is if you feel something's off, something is definitely just off and you gotta trust it. Also go within and know that if you're triggered by anything or it's bringing up anything inside of you, it's so much deeper than the current experience at your fingertips or right in front of you. So it's important to go in and heal. Like for me with that, it was that feeling of deceit or betrayal, or even where I was betraying myself by being with someone who clearly didn't want to be in a relationship and I liked them enough to want to be with them, you know? It did do me justice because that wouldn't have been a relationship that was good for either of us. Everything's for learning, and if you could take it like that, you'll be able to move through things so much quicker. Parties were fun though. Like I had a really good time with everyone, and it was nice to have a new friend group after I had been pretty much exiled by my last one, because my last one was connected to my ex-boyfriend because we all went to school together since elementary, middle school. So that was a time. A reminder that it's so imperative that you learn how to trust your gut regardless of if you have proof or not. When you just feel something that's so evident, that's different than the voice of fear, right? Like it's one thing to be like afraid or paranoid that something's going to happen. That's something that feels like it's constantly lingering, and that's also something that you have to address through burn letters, through Reiki Theta, through therapy, through hypnotherapy. That stems from somewhere that's different. That intuitive knowing that when you get a vision, when you have a feeling, when you just know, when all of a sudden you get hit, when you have a dream, that's what you gotta listen to. Oh, my dog just busted in the door. I love that for me. Make sure you follow me. I post new videos every single Friday, and make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I post videos on TikTok every single day, and Instagram posts as well. Just let's get connected everywhere we go. Thank you again. See you soon. Bye.